Good morning, and welcome to New Hanover County Schools The Morning Show. I'm Johanna Carey.
And I'm Milo Kenny. This week on November 18th through November 24th. Thank you for starting your day off with our fun and educational morning show.
We hope you are enjoying our show this school year, along with our sister show, Your School News.
Before we get started today, we wanted to take a few minutes to tell you about several of the other quality programs we have airing on our channel.
Anyone with a student in New Hanover County school system will want to watch Upfront with Superintendent. Our host, Ann David, sits down for a one-on-one with Superintendent Dr. Markley. Together, they discuss important topics facing our school system and highlight changes and programs the public needs to know about.
We also have The Forum, hosted by Sheila Evans. The Forum highlights interesting and important achievements, programs, and events within our school system and community. Every episode features 3 separate interviews which strengthen the bond between the school system and the community.
And another show you shouldn't miss on our channel is Diversity Matters. This show is hosted by Valita Quattlebaum and takes a look at diversity in the school system and community. The show explores unique programs, community partnerships, and talk with many different students in our school system.
If you're a fan of sports, then be sure to tune in to our coverage of the high school football on the Sports Roundtable. Playoffs are underway, and you can see game highlights and hear from the coaches in this long-running popular show.
So if you are a fan of the morning show and Your School News, be sure to tune into our other programs, as you will enjoy them as well.
It's time to check in with our third member of the team, Rocco Salerno. He's standing by right now with our first look at the morning news headlines. Good morning, Rocco.
Good morning, Joanne and Milo, and welcome everyone to your school news here on the morning show. Topping the headlines this week, NHCS Board of Education holds their monthly meeting. Hoggard High School art students show off their skills at the county fair, and the principals come together to package food bags for Nourish NC. I will have all those stories and more coming up later in the show.
Thanks, Rocco.
It's time for a staple here at the morning show, This Week in History. Our Grand Master of Historical Knowledge has all the headlines from past times in This Week in History.
Welcome to This Week in History. I am your historical host, Shania McDuffie, covering all the colorful and amazing events that have left their marks in history's timeline. This is the week of November 18th through November 24th. On November 18th, 1978, People's Temple founder Jim Jones leads hundreds of his followers in a mass murder-suicide at their agricultural commune in South America. Many of Jones' followers willingly ingested a poison-laced punch, while others were forced to do so at gunpoint. The final death toll was 909. November 19, 1863. During the dedication of a military ceremony at Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, President Abraham Lincoln delivers one of the most memorable speeches in American history. November 20th, 1945. 24 high-ranking Nazis go on a trial in Nuremberg, Germany for atrocities committed during World War II. It was one of the first trials of its kind in history, and the defendants faced charges ranging from crimes against peace to crimes of war to crimes against humanity. November 21st, 1980. 350 million people around the world tune into television's popular primetime drama Dallas to find out who shot J.R. Ewing, the character fans love to hate. J.R. had been shot in the season-ending episode of the previous March, which now stands as one of television's most famous cliffhangers. November 22nd, 1718. Edward Teach, also known as Blackbeard, is killed off North Carolina's Outer Banks during a bloody battle with the British Navy. Believed to be a native of England, Teach likely began his pirating career in 1713 when he eventually took over a ship and renamed it the Queen Anne's Revenge. Finally, your weekend history tidbits. November 23, 1876. William Boss T., leader of New York City's corporate Tammany Hall political organization during the 1860s and early 1870s, is delivered to authorities in New York City after his capture in Spain. November 24, 1973. Ringo Starr becomes the third former Beatle to earn a solo #1 hit with Photograph. Tops the Billboard Hot 100. His album titled Ringo also produced the second top song 2 months later. That's This Week in History, your ultimate source of those key moments in time. I'm Shania McDuffie. Thanks for stopping by.
And join us again next time for another journey through time as we explore the fun, fascinating, entertaining, and educational facts that make up this week in history.
We have plenty more of the morning show ahead, including a brand new segment of Fun and Dex.
But first, as we head to break, we have the word of the week. Each week we highlight an advanced English word, so when you use them in a sentence, you can impress even educated speakers. Here's our word of the week. Welcome back to the morning show. I'm Johanna Carey.
And I'm Milo Kenny.
We now have our newest segments of NC Happenings. Everyone should go get their pen and paper as we take a trip across the state and look at the new events taking place in the coming month.
Whether you're looking for adventure or relaxation, mountains or beaches, the rhythm of city life or the tranquility of nature, there's something happening for everyone here in North Carolina.
Date, November 16th. Place, Wrightsville Beach. Event, Taste of Wrightsville Beach. Taste around the island and treat yourself to an evening filled with food, fun, and ocean views at the Taste of Wrightsville Beach. Sample the diverse and delicious fare found in and around Wrightsville Beach, as over 35 participating restaurants serve amazing dishes. Take in oceanfront views from Blockade Runner Beach Resort. Cast your vote for People's Choice while celebrity judges rate the dishes with the best in show, and more. It starts Saturday from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Admission for 21 and older is $75, and for anyone under 21, it's $25. For more information, call 800-650-8921.
Date, November 16th. Place, Fayetteville. Event, Carriage Tour of Old Fayetteville. Take a guided tour of the downtown district. They leave hourly from include historic sites from Fayetteville's colorful 250-year history, including sites from the Revolutionary War era. It starts Saturday running from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. and the tour lasts 45 minutes. Admission is $25 for adults and $15 for children. For more information, call 910-223-1089.
Date, November 22 through November 23rd. Blowing Rock. Event, Tweetsie Christmas. Tweetsie Christmas is celebrating the holidays in 2019. Activities include a nighttime train ride with lights displays, Santa's gingerbread house, a Christmas variety show, giant snow globe, and possibly snow. The event starts on each day at 5 p.m. and goes to 10 p.m. Admission is $38 per person. For more information, visit tweetsie.com.
Date, November 23rd to the 24th. Place, Winston-Salem. Event, 56th Annual Piedmont Craftsman Fair. More than 100 of the finest artisans from across the Southeast filled the booths at this great event. The fair presents a sampling of the finest work available in artist-designed handmade home goods, glass, ceramics, jewelry, furniture, and decorative items. The fair is the unofficial kickoff of the Winston-Salem's amazing art-centric holiday shopping in the city's electric downtown. On Saturday, it starts at 10 a.m. and runs to 6 p.m., and Sunday starts from noon to 5 p.m. Admission is free. You can contact 336-725-1516 for more information.
Date, November 26th. Place, Goldsboro. Event, Downtown Lights Up. Join us for a night of family fun as we flip a switch and light up downtown Goldsboro. For the holiday season, this event features visits with Santa Claus, holiday kids crafts, trolley rides, ice skating, holiday entertainment, plus a big surprise. The event starts at 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Admission is free. For more information, visit dgdc.org.
Date, November 29th to the 30th. Place, Wrightsville Beach. Event, North Carolina Holiday Flotilla. Come for Thanksgiving and spend a long weekend with family and friends at the coast celebrating the North Carolina Holiday Flotilla. It's a weekend full of activities and family fun. Kick off the holiday season with the annual tree lighting ceremony and visit from Santa. The festival in the park at Wrightsville Beach Park features over 100 arts and craft vendors, festival food, an antique car show, a large play area for children, and the popular Arab Choo Choo. On Friday, it runs from 5:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. and on Saturday from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Admission is free. You can visit wilmingtonandbeaches.com for more information.
If these events weren't enough for you, or you're looking for something different to do, then check out the website www.visitnc.com. Under the upcoming event tabs, you will be able to sort and search for something that suits your need.
It's time now for our morning news. Let's send it over to Rocco Salerno, who will share all the details. Good morning, Rocco.
Good morning, and welcome to your school news on the morning show. I'm Rocco Salerno. Our top story this week, the New Hanover County Board of Education recently held their monthly meeting. With the board notes is YSN reporter Johan Yellow.
The November Board of Education meeting was the longest one of the year, with several reports and pressing issues up for discussion. Let's get right to the board notes. Under recognition of achievement, there was a community partnership presentation by the United Way. This month's school spotlight was for Wilmington Early College High School. Also receiving recognition was the NC Rehabilitation Association Employer of the Year, the Special Educators of the Month, Alliance for a Healthier Generation Awards, and the American Heart Association's Kids Heart Challenge Awards. Superintendent Dr. Markley then presented the board with an administrative recommendation, which was approved. Board member Nelson Bowyer then gave the Head Start Liaison Report and Head Start Expenditure Report. Several reports were given under information. A security and risk assessment for district-wide report was presented. Several policies were on for information, including Policy 1350, Community Participation at Board of Education Meetings, Policy 1410, Attorney for the Board of Education, Policy 6082, Employee Code of Ethics, and Policy 8432, Use of Service Animals and Procedure. This policy needed immediate approval and was approved by the board. Also under information was an immersion program presentation by the International School at Gregory, a graduation project presentation, a quarterly budget summary, a presentation on Ethics 360, and a discussion on using a policy service for the Board of Education policies. Under Superintendent's report, Dr. Tim Markley gave the Safer Schools Task Force and presented their Memorandum of Understanding. Under Board Chairperson report, there was a call for a work session and the board will look at possible dates. There was also an Isaac Bear Early College update looking at the possibility of a new building for the school. Committee reports included updates from Title IX, Family Communications, Dress Code, and the Advisory Council for Special Education Committees. Under consensus items, personnel was presented by Dr. John Wilmers. Items under old business included 2019-2020 low-performing school plans and Policy 5400, naming facilities, and Policy 6431, drug testing. There were 5 items for discussion under new business: budget amendments, New Hanover County Sheriff Department's contract for school resource officers, 2019-2020 SIP executive summaries, and 2020-2021 calendars, as well as property insurance renewal. Finally, the board also had a discussion about the lack of bus drivers and voted to increase their pay. The next regular Board of Education meeting will be held on Tuesday, December 3rd at 5:30 p.m. at the Board of Education Center. 1805 South 13th Street. As always, if you cannot attend the meetings in person, you can watch the rebroadcast here on our channel, and they can also be watched online at our YouTube channel, NHCS Schools. That's your board notes for the month of November.
The Cape Fear Fair and Expo brings rides and entertainment to the Wilmington community each year. And for almost 10 years, art students from around New Hanover County come together there to show off their skills. Here's some video from Hoggard's students. As you can see, they enjoy making pottery, drawing, and creating other artworks for all to see. From bowls to butterflies, there was something for everyone. Staff we talked with say it's a wonderful opportunity to be able to come to the fair each year.
We're here at the fair to promote the arts within New Hanover County. At Hoggard High School, in fact, all of the high schools in New Hanover County teach pottery and ceramics, and so it's a way to marry not only the earth and environment, because our earth is constantly making clay, but we use clay in our classrooms every day to make items that can be used and viewed as functional items, but also aesthetic, meaning we can use our art in a way that is promoting the arts.
Other students from the county also joined in on the fun at the fair later in the week. They said they had a blast. Sunset Park Elementary is getting a makeover outside. The Lowe's Heroes Project is a project hosted every year in which Lowe's gives money to every Lowe's stores to put towards a community project. This year, 2 Wilmington stores pooled together their money to revamp the courtyard and playground area at Sunset Park Elementary School. The main goal of the project was to try and bring some more life and color to the campus of Sunset Park. They worked on many things, including building new picnic tables and doing a great deal of landscaping.
We're actually taking their courtyard area, and we mulched it, and we're putting 6 picnic tables out there so they can have class out there or just go out there during the school day. We're also taking the athletic field, and they put benches. Dave and them built benches behind the backdrop, and then we're putting rubber mulch inside the canopy over there. So we've got a lot of different little projects that we're doing just to make the school better, and we're also buying a lot of sports equipment for them. We're going to do 2 new soccer goals and that kind of stuff.
NHCS principals got a chance to package food for their kids at their monthly meeting in November. This is the 7th year of the event, which begins with school leaders coming together to hear about Nourish NC and the efforts being made to ensure children have a meal and are well fed. Principals lined up in 2 rows, then packed items in a bag. Food insecurity is an issue around the state and here in Wilmington, so this is a great way to help ensure students have a well-balanced meal. Steve McCrossan runs Nourish NC in Wilmington and says he is thankful for the support from the principals and looks forward to a great year.
Food, and this is just for one day. So the principals are going to pack 600 backpacks for kids that go out today. And in total, there's 1,100 kids on our backpack program here in New Hanover County. So every month, that's a tremendous amount of food going out, literally tens of thousands of pounds of food a month.
For all of the latest on New Hanover County schools, join us weekdays at 5 p.m. here on Spectrum Cable Channel 5 and Channel 191 in Carolina Beach. For your school news, a complete half hour of all the latest news and information from New Hanover County schools. Now back to our hosts.
Thanks, Rocco.
All right, it's time now for this week's lunch menu. This is the menu for Monday, November 18th through Monday, November 25th. On Monday, November 18th, shake off those Monday morning blues at lunch with pasta with meat sauce, served with a garlic knot, piping hot chicken tenders, or a grilled cheese sandwich. Complement your entree with gorgeous green beans, sweet potato puffs, tomato and cucumber salad, and delectable diced peaches.
Then, on Tuesday, November 19th, race to the nearest lunch line and grab exciting General Tso's chicken served with brown rice, scrumptious sloppy joe, or a chicken quesadilla. And on your way to the table, be sure to pick up the California blend vegetables and diced peaches.
On Wednesday, November 20th, get over that midweek hump by treating yourself to fantastic barbecue riblet sandwich, chicken wings served with a perfect dinner roll, or a beef taco served with Spanish rice. As if that's not good enough alone, you can even add amazing pinto beans and applesauce to top off the meal.
On Thursday, November 21st, battle your midday hunger by enjoying either a luscious bacon cheeseburger, barbecue chicken served with steamy brown rice, or a delicious hot dog. Along with those tasty treats, enjoy roasted potatoes, baked beans, and a marvelous mandarin orange.
Then, on Friday, November 22nd, you won't want to miss out on this lunch. as your cafeteria will be serving exquisite chicken nuggets, a beef and cheddar sandwich, or a fantastic French bread pizza, with the option of cheese or pepperoni. Also, chow down on mashed potatoes, roasted butternut squash, and mixed fruit.
Finally, Monday, November 25th, how will you ever decide between enticing chicken wings served with garlic knots, or a glamorous lasagna rolled up served with a garlic knot, or a scrumptious meatball hoagie? Side items include broccoli and cheese, creamy pasta salad, tomato and cucumber salad, and diced peaches.
And there you have the lunch menu for that week. In addition to those items, milk, a garden salad, fresh fruit, French bread pizza, and a peanut butter and jelly combo will be available daily.
So many delicious choices. Don't forget you can also start your day off with a healthy and hearty breakfast at school.
Now when we come back, we will have a fun new segment produced by an NHCS TV intern.
It's coming up right after this short break.
As farmers and ranchers, stewardship of the land comes naturally. You leave it better than you found it, so future generations can enjoy a way of life that you love. Thanks to your efforts, we're fortunate to experience clean water, abundant wildlife, and healthy rural communities. Your work is vital, and its benefits extend far beyond your property, reaching millions of other Americans who depend on this region every day without even realizing it. You take care of the land because it's the right thing to do. But did you know that conservation can also improve your bottom line? Take a moment and find out how conservation pays. Visit conservationpays.org.
Welcome back to the morning show. I'm Johanna Carey.
And I'm Milo Kenny.
We now have a brand new addition to our morning show. If you have some free time or are looking for a new hobby where you can meet new people and challenge yourself and mind, then pay attention.
NHCS TV intern Dylan Roberts takes us to the world of card games with his new segment titled Fun in Decks. Today he looks at a highly popular game, Yu-Gi-Oh! Hello, and welcome to Fun in Decks. I'm your host Dylan Roberts. Today we have the chance to look at a card game that has always been a big hit. Yu-Gi-Oh! Hit the scene in 1996 as a manga, and the cards were released in 1999 with how successful the manga and television show had been. The game was so successful, in fact, that it was named as the top-selling trading card game in history by Guinness World Records in 2009. In Yu-Gi-Oh!, the goal is to get rid of all of your opponent's life points. You do this by attacking them with your monster and spell cards. However, you must have gotten rid of all of your opponent's monster cards first, so you have to attack them. Of course, that's an oversimplification, but the core of the game is there.
If you don't know anything about Yu-Gi-Oh!, then I would guess pick one of the starter decks and have somebody else get a starter deck as well and just play a few games here and there, so you can get a feel for it, and then eventually at some point then try to figure out what kind of deck that you want to play, because there's control, aggro, that kind of stuff, and then based on that, then if they're in the area, they can just come over here. A bunch of us very nice, very helpful, depending on what you're looking for, we have no problems with helping you out and just getting you to where you want to go so you can have fun and enjoy this game.
Just be patient. It's an easy enough game, but it gets more complex the more you learn. So you just got to be patient. You're gonna lose a lot. It is what it is. It's part of the learning process. You just got to learn how not to lose like that next time and stuff like that, and then be creative. Don't play the same. I don't play the same thing over and over, ever. So you gotta be creative, man. Just try everything, and just be patient. That's really it.
While there are official Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournaments held in many different locations, some of the most popular events for many players of the game are local nights where they just go and have fun with other fans of the game. An event like this happens weekly at Cape Fear Games, a hotspot for card and board game players in Wilmington.
I'm not from here, so like all of the friends I have from Wilmington, like because I'm from Ohio, all of my friends from Wilmington, this is how I met them. It's playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Coming here on the weekends when I was in Marine Corps and stuff like that. So I really like the staff. Like I said, I've been coming here for years. I moved back to Ohio for a couple of years, but like most of the staff's still the same when I got back. And all the people I used to play with now are still playing for the most part. So yeah.
Cape Fear Games is a great place for any card game enthusiast to go. You can find them at 4107 Oleander Drive, online at www.capefeargames.com, or call them at 910-798-6006. I'm Dylan Roberts, reminding you to keep your deck topped up.
Thank you, Mr. Dillon. That looks like a fun game to play.
And very popular locally. That was a crowded game night in the video.
Keep it tuned to the morning show for more fun and decks as Dillon explores more exciting and fun games you can play.
So many Americans these days are addicted to caffeine. There's multiple aisles these days devoted to caffeinated beverages in the grocery stores. Once you're hooked on one of these drinks, it becomes a hard habit to break. Our healthy tips expert, Joanna Carey, is here to help. She gives us tips on breaking that caffeine habit and tell us why you should do it too.
I'm Johanna Carey, and in this segment of Healthy Tips, I will be talking about why you should avoid caffeine and how to stop drinking it as much. Caffeine consumption can be very harmful for children and have certain health risks. Some health risks include irritability, nervousness, insomnia, an increase in heart rate, and increased blood pressure. Another reason to stop drinking caffeine is the amount of caffeine in each type of drink, and it varies considerably. The caffeine content may not be listed on the beverage container. Energy drinks and other sugary beverages like soda add extra calories without important nutrients that children and teens need for growth. For example, one popular energy drink contains 130 calories and 34 grams of high carbohydrates in an 8.3 ounce serving. A growing child should drink no more than a cup of soda a day, or they will face factors that could affect their growth. Some tips that can help you stop drinking caffeine are: number 1, start phasing out caffeine. It's best to start small when quitting caffeine. Begin by cutting out one caffeinated drink per day. Tip number 2, choose a replacement beverage if caffeine drinks are an essential part of your day. You may need a replacement. Some options that are healthier are water. It is the best and the healthiest choice, but green tea, fruit-infused water, and sparkling water are also good alternatives. Tip number 3, listen to your favorite up-tempo songs. This can help distract you from your craving for caffeine, and it will help you stay energized. Tip number 4, get plenty of rest. For many of us, caffeine is way too combat to little sleep and a lack of energy during the day. Make sure as you are limiting your caffeine intake that you have made it possible to sleep as much as you need each night. Tip number 5, eat a high-protein diet. Protein provides a good boost of energy during the day, while meals high in carbohydrates can make you sleepy, so try to avoid them. Tip number 6, avoid triggers. Most people have specific times that they are used to having caffeine. For example, right before school or when you're hanging out with a friend. It may not be possible to avoid all triggers. If you know you'll encounter a trigger, plan ahead. Bring something else to drink with you, like green tea or water. I'm Johanna Carey, and I hope you will use these tips in your daily life to help make yourself healthy and happier.
Those were some great tips. Thank you, Joanna. Reducing your intake of caffeine can be a hard challenge to tackle. However, you'll be surprised how fast your body adjusts to the caffeine-free lifestyle.
And the long-term health benefits of breaking that caffeine habit will last a lifetime.
Now we head to our break with our new modern music bumper. Enjoy these quick look and listens of the musicians of our time.
We'll be right back.
Shotgun with my hair undone in the front seat of his car. He's got a one-hand feel on the steering wheel, the other on my heart. I look around, turn the radio down. He says, baby, is something wrong? I say nothing.
Hey, Dad. I need your help asking Jessica to prom.
Of course. Love is like the ocean. You have to tread the
Oh,
waters.
Dad. That's not the kind of help I needed. Hey, Jessica. Will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
I'll be right back. Hi! You think you're probably sober?
Yeah.
But you're thinking about taking the back roads home, just in case. If you're probably sober, then why would you do that? Good choice.
Probably okay isn't okay. If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
That's a full glass of wine. I'll be chatting you later.
Good morning and welcome back to the morning show. I'm Milo Kenny.
And I'm Johanna Carey.
We have some great segments ahead, but first we have our Did You Know?
Did you know about 20% of Earth's land surface is made up of desert?
A desert is a region of land that is very dry because it receives less than 10 inches of precipitation each year. Deserts can also be described as areas where more water is lost by evaporation than falls as precipitation.
Deserts are formed by weathering processes as large variations in temperatures between day and night put strains on the rocks which consequently break in pieces.
Although rain seldom occurs, there are occasional downpours. Rain falling on hot rocks can cause them to shatter, and the resulting fragments and rubble strewn over the desert floor is further eroded by the wind.
Most people also don't realize that not all deserts are hot. There are also several polar deserts, especially in the Arctic regions.
In fact, the largest two deserts are the Antarctica and the Arctic deserts. The Sahara is the largest subtropical desert.
And there you have our Did You Know?
Changing gears, now we have our next morning show segment.
Archaeologists study past human life and culture through the recovery and examination of remaining material evidence. Using artifacts, inscriptions, monuments, and other remains, they paint a picture of the past. In many cases, that picture tells a story.
We have one of those amazing stories from our friends at the Archaeology Channel. This week, they take us to Arizona where we see how the Department of Transportation work lead to a discovery.
The Beethoven site in Arizona is in close proximity to State Route 77 in the northeastern part of the state. Recently, the Arizona Department of Transportation decided to excavate and explore the site ahead of possible damage from roadway maintenance. This is an area used in the past by the Zuni, Hopi, Apache, and Navajo tribes. When the archaeologists opened the site, they found some prehistoric pit houses and what they identified as a very large communal structure. They quickly realized they had come across something more special than your average prehistoric site.
The Beethoven site is located just about 5 miles north of Snowflake. It's near the confluence of 5 Mile Draw and Silver Creek. That's an area that prehistorically was very active. The Zuni and the Hopi peoples used the area, the Apache and Navajos used the area. That area was scheduled for culvert extensions and for passing lanes in the future. In order to get the grant to extend the excavations at this time, rather than wait many years or several years until we had a federal project, we had to be fairly confident that this site was special. And the limited excavations that we had done previously gave us a fair degree of confidence that that was true, but archaeology is a science where you can't really know until you start to look.
I thought I'd show you what we did here. Each little house in here is a little bit different.
So we did what we usually do. We went in with a backhoe and we started putting in some trenches. We started finding more sites and features and pit houses, and we realized that indeed the site was going to live up to its promise.
Right now you're looking at 2 pits that have rocks in it.
It's been an opportunity to get in there and actually recover a lot of new information.
See, if they want to heat the house, they take those out and store them.
And to find this communal structure is a really big step forward in understanding this time period.
The site, we think, dates between 650 and 800 AD.
I think what's really valuable, and you see it in the Beethoven site where we invited the Hopi and the Zuni down to participate in what we found, is that these are not places that were simply abandoned, forgotten about, covered with dirt, and left for dead, so to speak.
This is very typical of what's coming out of the site.
These are places that are really important in that long-term memory that the tribes keep.
This one was placed in a ritual area of the site, and this one was placed behind a wall.
Just solidifies our oral history within this area. What they're calling sites are really ancestral dwellings. And I think the assumption of the archaeologists was that there might have been 2 or 3 different types of people here. No, it's one group of people, but with different skills. The one that had the blackened slab stones was probably a healer. So that one structure was very significant, very important.
The Beethoven site is not a good candidate for what we call preservation in place. It's a buried site. You can drive by it and not see it. So what we had to do was come up with what we call a data recovery plan so that we could get out of the site what the Act calls its information potential.
We'll put the dirt back in the trenches and in the pit houses. We'll then carry out our excavations, write a report, and then by the time ADOT is actually out here constructing, they'll be able to avoid some impacts by not digging in certain places or putting fill in other places.
I'm glad that ADOT is doing this because we do have a recommendation that these sites be protected for perpetuity. And even if there's asphalt on top of it, at least we know that there is our ancestral dwellings still being protected by that, a different means, but at least they're protected.
Another fascinating segment from the Archaeology Channel. It's amazing to learn about the history buried right under our feet.
Yes, keep in mind you don't have to go to another continent to see an amazing historic site.
You don't even have to leave our state. There are several great sites right here in our own area. We continue our show with gardening and nature. Last week, our host, Barbara Downing, talked about the different trees in our area. This week, she is joined by special guests who show you at home how to properly plant a tree. It is a great episode, so be sure to take notes if you are planning on adding a tree to your yard.
First thing we're going to do, we got to dig a hole. So how big does the hole need to be? The depth of the hole needs to be such that the top of the root ball, the top of the soil in the pot, is even with or no more than about 1 inch or 2 above the existing grade. You don't want to go too low, because even with a cypress tree, even though they grow in water, you can drown a cypress tree. When they're young, before they're established, you could kill it if you plant it too deep. If you go too high, it's not overly an issue, especially with cypress, but just rule of thumb, any tree, try not to go in the soils that we have here, 1 inch or 2 above grade, or even with grade is kind of what you're shooting for. Accepted practice, standard, is to dig your planting hole 1.5 times the width of your pot. Probably not quite to that yet, but we may be close. Some of the soils down here, it's not entirely necessary, but if you can get close to that, would be beneficial. Go ahead and pull the tree out of the pot. You get these, some of these, they've been in the pots for a little while, so they may be a little bit tight in the pot. Some of them may have a few roots coming out of the bottom. If there are roots coming out the drainage holes in the bottom of the pots, feel free to break them off or cut them if you've got a knife. Either way, you're not going to hurt the tree. If you'll take and just hit the pot real hard all the way around, kind of loosen it up a little bit, and then you should be able to, a couple of people, be able to drag the tree out of the pot. Yeah, I got one. So you can see right here, you can see where these trees have been in the pots. You've got a lot of roots. These have a really good root system on them. But as you can see, it kind of forms to the pot. So to keep these from being root bound, if we just drop this in the hole the way it is right now, there's a very high percentage of these roots that would continue to grow in that circle pattern instead of going out in the surrounding soil. So what we're going to need to do is break that up cut some of these roots and encourage growth, lateral growth, and stop those circling roots. You can just take a shovel, break it up and down, all the way around. You can absolutely destroy this root ball. You're not going to hurt it, believe me. Yeah, that's about right. All right. I'm saying this one's a little bit high, but again, because this is cypress, an inch or two high, it's not going to hurt anything. I'm going to go ahead and just break up the root ball a little bit more before we start the backfill. Once you get all that done, take and check and step back off at right angles from it and be sure your trunk is as straight as you can be. Kind of want to look at the top half, because some of these in the nursery, the lower trunk may be just a little bit off. And on this one, if we were to straighten the lower trunk out of the pot, the tree would be leaning a little bit. As the tree grows, it's not really going to hurt anything. It'll straighten itself out. But kind of step back and be sure you got it good and straight from both angles. Yeah, right there. Okay. May have to have somebody hold it a little bit. Once you get it straight, just take and throw a little bit of soil around it. Just a few shovelfuls around. Kind of work it in with your shovel. Don't pack it in with your foot. There's no need. Absolutely no need. You'll actually do more harm than you will good. Immediately creating a compacted soil environment around the tree. Once you get that, you can bring it up, go ahead and backfill to about halfway up the root ball. So we'll go ahead and get in half or 3/4 full right there. And then we'll grab a bucket of water, kind of water this in to settle the soil a little bit. You don't necessarily need to pour it right up directly on the root ball, because you don't want to wash all the dirt off the root ball, but just in the edge of the planting hole, just to help settle that soil. You can kind of take a shovel like Ricky's doing right here. Just take a shovel and kind of work it in, help settle the soil. Once you get that, then you can finish backfilling. Just want to bring the fill, bring it up even with the top of the root ball, all the way around. Normally planting a tree, you would take some of the excess soil and kind of around the outside edge of the planting hole, kind of build up a 2 or 3 inch tall mound of dirt, ring of dirt all the way around. Kind of a water ring to help capture some rainwater and channel it down in there. Once we've got all that done, got the tree in the hole, got it watered in, Ricky's got us a bucket of mulch right here. It's just triple shredded hardwood mulch, what we've got today. We'll take it, just spread it out. Want to keep the mulch off the trunk of the tree. Keep about a 2 or 3, maybe 4 inch clear space around the tree. You don't want any mulch up on the trunk. So just kind of cover up the whole planting area there. Don't want the mulch to get any more than about 4 inches deep at most. It ain't got to be completely perfect. So that's how you plant a tree.
Hope you all enjoyed this tree planting experience. We appreciate Connie Parker and the Cape Fear Alliance for Cape Fear Trees allowing us to be here. And so that more than wraps up, and hope you enjoy that. Back to you.
Thank you, Barbara. Hopefully this episode has inspired many of our viewers to plant a tree.
Yes, and with all that great information, they will be able to give the trees a great chance of surviving.
Before you start preparing to plant a tree in your yard, stick around for a Devious Game edition of Game Time, coming your way.
It's our ode to supervillains. Keep it tuned right here to see it all.
We'll be right back.
There's a lot of fear in coming back to school. I'm a 40-year-old man that walked in there to get his high school diploma. It was very hard for me, but one of the teachers was Miss Araceli. She gave me direction. Every single time I had a question, she'll put down whatever she's doing and she'll sit there with you until you get it. 50% of getting your high school diploma is walking through those doors. The other 50% is doing the work.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Welcome to Game Time. I'm your host, Rocco Salerno. Last week, Game Time was all about superheroes. Today, we flip the coin and supervillains take the spotlight. It's an evil edition today, and we send it to Joanne and Milo to learn about some of these power-hungry troublemakers.
Thank you, Rocco. All right, everyone, it's time for us to unveil our morning show list of the top 10 supervillains.
Last week, we told you our superhero list, and now we see the baddies that help make them great. Follow along and see if you agree or disagree.
Feel free to send in a tweet and with your thoughts on our list at NHCS TV.
Okay, let's get started.
Number 10, we start our list off with Doomsday. Genetically engineered an attempt to be made immortal, he is the most famous for killing Superman. This villain is a walking mass of destruction, having destroyed half of Gotham and injured dozens of superheroes. He first appeared in Superman the Man of Steel, number 17, in 1992.
And number 9 is Galactus. Known as the Eater of Worlds, he is an all-powerful being. Galactus is known as the sole survivor from the universe prior to the Big Bang. When he attempted to destroy Earth, he was slowed down by his herald, the Silver Surfer, and then the Fantastic Four were able to force Galactus to spare Earth. He first appeared in 1966 in Fantastic Four issue 48.
At number 8, we have Lex Luthor. He first appeared in Action Comics number 23 in 1940. He is one of the most intelligent people in the world, but is power mad and intent on ridding the world of Superman. He has no superpowers but wears a mechanical war suit when needed.
7 on the list goes to Green Goblin. The Green Goblin is a Halloween-themed supervillain whose weapons resemble bats, ghosts, and jack-o'-lanterns. He first appeared in The Amazing Spider-Man number 14 in 1964 and has been terrorizing the web-slinger since.
At our number 6 spot is Thanos. Thanos is a Titan who first appeared in Iron Man, number 54 in 1973. He has a wide range of superpowers and strength, if the most famous for collecting the Infinity Gems and his gauntlet. He then proceeded to wreak havoc on the universe.
Darkseid takes the number 5 spot. Darkseid is the tyrannical ruler of a planet and it's his ultimate goal to conquer the universe and eliminate free will. He is a major enemy of the Justice League and made his first appearance in Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen, number 134, in 1970.
Number 4 is Apocalypse. He is the world's first mutant and archenemy of the X-Men. He has a wide range of powers and pushes the belief of survival of the fittest. He appeared in the X-Factors number 5 in 1986.
Our number 3 spot goes to another enemy of the X-Men, the villain known as Magneto. He first appeared in X-Men issue 1 in 1963 and has been causing problems for mutant kind since. He has the power of magnetic manipulation and can use it to fly.
Our number 2 spot goes to the Joker, Batman's nemesis, and one of the most popular villains of all time. The Joker is a criminal mastermind who uses chemistry and weaponized props on his enemies. He had first appeared in Batman number 1 in 1940. His white skin and green hair are the result of falling into a tank of chemical waste.
And our number 1 villain is Dr. Doom. He rules his own nation, is a genius inventor, a sorcerer, and has a powerful gadget-filled suit of armor. His chief opponent has been the Fantastic Four, but he has also battled many of Marvel's superheroes. He is the first in the Fantastic Four number 5. He first appeared in number 5 issue of Fantastic Four in 1962.
And there you have it. Be sure to stay away from these villains when you're out and about.
Remember, you can send us your thoughts on Twitter at NHCS TV.
Now we have a thrilling morning show game. It's our Supervillain Challenge.
I hope you were paying attention during our top 10 villain list, as there may be some clues to our challenge.
Let's send it back over to Rocco, who has all the game rules. Welcome back, Rocco.
Thank you. Today our game is very simple. I will tell you the name of a supervillain, and you must name the superhero that is their arch-rival. The first person to buzz will get to answer. If they are wrong, the other player will also get a chance to steal. Also, if no one buzzes, I will give you a hint. If no one gets the answer, then I will give the answer and move on. Okay, contestants, are you ready?
Yep.
Okay. The first villain is Lex Luthor.
Okay. Let's see here. Superman.
That is correct. One point for her. Hey.
All right. All right.
Question 2. The Joker.
Batman.
Correct.
Oh boy.
I'm blue.
Number 3. Green Goblin.
Spider-Man.
That is correct.
Wait, I think that was.
No,
okay.
That's fine. Magneto.
X-Men.
Correct. Number 5. Black Manta.
Aquaman.
That is correct. Number 6. Doctor Doom.
Superman? I don't know.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
Yes. Who was it again? Just repeat.
It's Doctor Doom. Would you like the hint?
No, it's Fantastic Four.
There you go. You got it. Yep. Number 7. Sinestro?
X-Men?
That is incorrect.
Is it Green Lantern?
That is correct. Okay. Question 8. Red Skull.
Captain America.
That is correct. 9. Kingpin.
Oh, Spider-Man.
That is incorrect. Would you like to steal?
Can I have a hint?
Oh, yeah. The biggest mob boss of Hell's Kitchen.
Oh God. Iron Man?
No, that is incorrect. The answer is Daredevil. Okay. Number 10. Cheetah.
Oh, Wonder Woman.
That is correct. Number 11. Loki.
Thor.
That is correct. The Mandarin.
Iron Man.
That's correct. Professor Zoom.
Oh no.
The Flash.
That is correct. Sabretooth.
X-Men.
That is incorrect. It's more specific.
I'm actually not sure. It's more specific. I honestly can't even. Give me a hint, please.
A savage killer that was once part of the Weapon X program.
Oh, Wolverine.
That is correct. Okay. And finally, Galactus.
Silver Surfer.
That is correct. That's all the questions we have. All right, that's all the questions in our morning show super villain trivia challenge. The winner is Milo. Congratulations.
Good game, Milo.
Good game.
Well, that does it for this edition of the morning show.
For the best TV of all, each and every day, keep it tuned right here for New Hanover County Schools TV on the Learning Network of Cape Fear.
Have a great day.
And a wonderful week.